June 21st, 2020. And happy Father's Day to all you good fathers out there. And if you're just a sperm donor just laying eggs all over the place, get on the fucking ball already and take care of your kids. You don't deserve shit. Alright, well, I want to talk about two people in our government that are really bending us over as far as a nation. And I want to talk about one of the two. Let's say one of the two Johns. And not the Johns that look for prostitutes, but they prostitute themselves out pretty good. John Bolton. Now, John Bolton has a book out telling us that Donald Trump is basically a maniac president. He's incompetent. He just cares about himself. But before this coronavirus, COVID-19 bullshit happened, our country was smoking. He was doing great things for us. He was getting us out of looking like the world's fucking joke, where something happens, we run and give everybody money. It's retarded. We give countries money that we have to borrow from China and pay back China with interest, but we don't even ask for the money back to the people we loan it to. We're fucking stupid. We're we're electing politicians to do this shit. Well, anyway, I'm getting off track. John Bolton pretty much hawked Donald Trump to get a job with him. And he got the job, and all he did was want to blow everybody up. Let's blow up Iran. Let's blow up this country. Let's blow up that country. Let's get him. Everything was a military option for him. And Trump had enough of it and fired him. Now he writes this book that Donald Trump doesn't care but for himself and doesn't care about the country. Now, he's violating his NDA agreement, the non-disclosure agreement that he had signed. And he should be prosecuted for violating this agreement. Plus, I hear the book's a lying piece of shit. He's already a confessed liar in an interview he did 10 years ago. Well, anyway, I think he's traitorous. He's not worth the shit. I wouldn't believe him. I hear his book's a flop anyway. Nobody's really interested in it, except for the few people that wish it to be true. And that's kind of funny. These Democrats will tell you this guy's the worst guy in the world. And once they flip on Donald Trump, oh, they're the best friend. They hated this guy friggin' last year, 2 years ago. Comes out with a book that says bad things about Donald Trump. Oh, he's our best friend now. They do this shit all the time. They hated George Bush. He was a dummy, a moron. But guess what? He don't like Donald Trump either. Oh, he's the Democrats' best friend. You can't trust these Democrats. Nothing is a rational thought. Everything is whims and feelings. Well, anyway, that's off track also. John number 2. John Roberts. Our Supreme Court Justice. Every time he has to make an important decision on our Constitution and on the direction of our country, he seems to go against the Constitution. And I'll give you the two recent big ones. He first said that it was okay for Barack Obama to mandate that we have to buy health insurance as a component of citizenship in this country. That has never been the case in the past. There's lots of precedent that says that no, you don't need anything except to be here legally one way or the other, whether by green card, you're born here. If you're here legally, you don't need anything. Now, you got fined if you didn't buy health care. And he could have knocked that down and say, no, that's not, there's nothing in our Constitution that says we have to own anything or purchase anything to be a citizen as part of citizenship of this country. But he said, that sounds good. Yeah, you have to buy something to be a citizen of our country. I mean, and the second one, I believe now was that this coronavirus and the laws that these governors are making go against the Constitution, the First Amendment, and religious liberty. If people want to and they can do it safely, go to a church and worship. Yes, I've seen pictures of the churches where they had cones set 6 feet away and they were staggered so nobody was in 6 feet of each other no matter what pew you sat in. You wear your mask inside. If that's good enough for fucking Walmart, the fucking Home Depot, the fucking ShopRite, it's good enough for the local fucking church. It's good enough for the small community store. And he says no. And decides with the fucking leftists that you don't have the religious liberty. Another mistake. And now, a third time, said that Donald Trump had no right to rescind DACA. An executive order made by Barack Obama that can't be rescinded by another president. It doesn't matter what excuse Donald Trump has for rescinding that executive order. If it's made by one president, it can be taken away by the next president or any other subsequent president. But what's the bigger kicker is this is a law that never should have been put into law because it did not go through the proper channels of Congress and get voted on and brought up to the executive branch for signing or veto. He made it on his own, he enforced it on his own. That's not how laws are made in this country. And for the Supreme Court, and he sided again with the leftists, because the leftists don't care about the Constitution. They want to see the illegals stay here. They don't care about the Constitution. They would love to see religious liberty disappear. It's just ridiculous. And he wasn't always that way. He's a George Bush appointee. So he was brought into the Supreme Court by a Republican president. I mean, it doesn't mean anything now. But my question is he a traitor to this country and our Constitution? Or does somebody have something on him that's so damaging to his career and his life that they threaten him, if you don't side with the leftists, we're going to expose you for these secrets. Now, I don't know what they are. I don't know if he's raping young boys, drinking blood like a vampire. I don't know. But why is it every time there's an important decision to be made about our Constitution and our country's future, he goes against the principles of our Constitution and votes where there's no legitimate reason to vote that way? I don't understand. I really think he has done something in his past or got caught doing something recently even maybe that they're holding over his head. Like I said, I don't know if he's raping and killing young boys. I don't know, maybe he's a closet transvestite. I don't know. Maybe he's had multiple affairs, on his wife. I don't know. But he can be removed. There is no appointments for life. If you read your Constitution, he's appointed and he gets to remain a justice upon good behavior. These obvious snipes to our Constitution is not good behavior, and there should be papers drawn up to have him impeached and removed. It should be that simple. But we might have to do it when we take the Senate, when we have the Senate, and we take the House. That's the one we really need. And remember, you only got about 4 months till voting. This is what it's come down to. You want these leftist decisions that have nothing to do with our history and our Constitution? or you do. And I want to say one more thing about these morons that are running around tearing down statues everywhere. Don't tear them down. If you don't want them in public, put them in museums. Because I'll tell you what, you tear down these statues, you tear down all these remnants of the days of slavery in the 1800s in the Confederacy, I guarantee you 100 years from now, black people will be in chains again and enslaved. Because the history will disappear and you won't remember it and it will happen again. That's why the Jews don't want nobody to forget the Holocaust. Because they know it'll happen again if the history's forgotten. Mark my words. If you make the history disappear because you're somewhat offended by it, you're really going to be offended when it returns because people don't know not of what our history was. I don't have no great love for these people. I could care less for the Confederacy. They were on the losing side of a constitutional argument in war. This is what we have today. And if you want to keep it for tomorrow, I guarantee you, you won't if you forget our history. And not everybody that formed this country, it's funny how everybody is reduced to, oh, they own slaves, they're bad, mute them out. No matter what great things they did to advance mankind, slavery was a worldwide condition. And believe me, the 1619 Project is a load of shit. I have no problem saying it because America did not start slavery. Slavery was around thousands of years before anybody even came to these shores that are America today. How slavery got started in America, a Dutch trading ship came to our shores and needed repairs and provisions. They really didn't have money to pay. They offered 19 black people that they took as slaves as compensation. So they gave them to the Americans, and that's basically how slavery got started. And if you really want to get with the people that promoted slavery, white Europeans did not go into the interior of Africa and grab black people and drag them out. All you had to do was pull up to the shore, to the big slave castle that they talk about all the time, and buy your slaves there. Other black African tribes and Muslim fighters brought slaves there to be bought, sold, and traded. So, the industry was already provided for the white man. We did not create the industry, we just partook in the industry. Right or wrong, get the facts straight. That's all I say, is get the fucking facts straight. No more revisionist bullshit because it sounds more towards your cause. Because you just get to be known fucking liars. And anybody with a fucking brain in their head knows you're full of shit with this 1619 Project. Tell the fucking truth. Alright, that's it. For the good dads, happy Father's Day. For the bad dads, shame on you, motherfucker. Take care of those kids. Have a good one.